Eat these nuts for energy, erections, and vitality. If you are over 60, you have no idea that what you eat in the first hour of their morning can make or break your erections for the rest of the day. And here's the truth most doctors don't tell you. Ignore your body's needs at this age, and you're not just risking weaker erections, you're setting yourself up for shrinking penis size, declining testosterone, and faster aging of your entire system. I've spent over 30 years as a men's health specialist, working with thousands of men who thought it was just age. But the right foods, eaten the right way, can transform blood flow, prostate health, and even help you maintain penis growth and firmness well into your 70s. And the best part? It doesn't start with a pill. It starts with a handful of very specific nuts. If you're a man over 60 and you've noticed your erections aren't as strong, your energy isn't the same, or you're secretly worried about size loss, these next few minutes could be the most important you watch all year. Because once I show you which nuts boost erections, protect your prostate, and keep your vitality alive, you'll never look at your breakfast the same way again. Let's talk about the truth behind men's health after 60 and why most are getting it wrong. There's a change that happens to almost every man after 60. It's not sudden. It creeps in slowly, so quietly that many men don't notice until years have passed. At first, you might just feel a little more tired in the afternoons. Then, your erections aren't quite as strong. Morning firmness becomes less frequent. Recovery after intimacy takes longer. Even your bladder seems a little more impatient than it used to be. These aren't just random annoyances. They're your body's way of whispering that blood flow is slowing down, testosterone is gradually declining, and your ability to absorb key nutrients isn't what it used to be. I've had men sit across from me, their voice low, saying, "Doc, I thought maybe I was just getting old." And here's what I always tell them. This is not a personal failure. It's biology. But biology you can influence. Think of your body like a river. In your 20s and 30s, that river runs fast and clear. After 60, the current slows, a little debris builds up, and less water reaches the areas that need it most, including the penis. But here's the thing. You can clear the debris, strengthen the flow, and get that current moving again. The quiet warning signs are there to give you a chance to act before it's too late. And in my 3 decades of working with men, I've seen incredible turnarounds when the right steps are taken. So, what are the first steps to turn that slow river back into a powerful stream? Let's start with one of the most overlooked daily habits, something most men get wrong every single morning. Most men over 60 think their morning routine is harmless. Wake up, splash water on your face, grab coffee, maybe toast or nothing at all. But here's the problem. That habit, repeated day after day, is quietly setting you back. Not just in your energy levels, but in your erections, your prostate health, and even your confidence in the bedroom. You see, first thing in the morning, your body is dehydrated. Blood is thicker, circulation is slower, and your most sensitive tissues, yes, including the penis, aren't getting the oxygen-rich flow they need. Add caffeine on top of that, you're pulling even more water from your system before you've had a chance to replenish it. I once had a patient, Robert, 67, who swore his energy slump was just part of aging. We swapped his coffee-first habit for a simple, nutrient-rich morning drink. Within weeks, he was waking up with stronger morning erections and feeling sharper well into the afternoon. He told me, "Doc, I didn't realize how bad I'd been running on empty until I finally filled the tank." Morning is your body's reset button. Get it right and you prime your circulation, support testosterone, and give your prostate the hydration it craves. Get it wrong, and you start the day already in the red. So, what's the drink that can supercharge your mornings, support erections, and keep you energized after 60? Let's break it down, and I promise it's simpler than you think. All right, here's the part most men never hear from their doctor. The first thing you drink in the morning can either set your circulation on fire in a good way or slow it down like wet cement. And for men over 60, circulation isn't just about avoiding a heart attack. It's about keeping your erections firm, your bladder functioning smoothly, and your prostate healthy. That's why I've been recommending a simple but powerful drink for over 3 decades in my clinic. Warm water with fresh lemon, no sugar, no fancy supplements, just the right temperature, the right fruit, and the right timing. Here's why it works. Warm water hydrates you faster than cold, relaxing your blood vessels so blood flows freely to every part of your body, including the tissues that control erections. Lemon adds vitamin C, which strengthens your blood vessel walls, supports collagen in penile tissue, and helps your body absorb more of the minerals you need for testosterone production. Now, I know some men hear lemon water and think, Doc, that's too simple to work. But I've seen this tiny habit change the morning firmness of men in their 60s and 70s within weeks. One patient even joked, "My wife asked what pill I was taking. I told her it was the fruit drawer in the fridge." Start your morning with this, and you're not just hydrating, you're priming your entire circulatory system for the day ahead. But here's the secret. The real magic happens when you pair this habit with the right foods later in the day. Foods that not only feed your energy, but literally fuel your erections. And yes, they taste amazing. If your morning drink is the ignition key for your circulation, what you eat later in the day is the high-octane fuel. And for men over 60, one of the most powerful, yet overlooked, fuels for erections, prostate health, and all-day vitality is a certain group of nuts. Now, I'm not talking about salted bar snacks. I'm talking about nutrient-dense nuts like walnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts, and pistachios, each carrying a unique package of healthy fats, plant proteins, and minerals that your body craves, but rarely gets enough of after 60. Walnuts are rich in arginine, an amino acid your body converts into nitric oxide, the very gas that relaxes penile blood vessels and allows erections to happen. Almonds pack magnesium, which supports testosterone production and helps your muscles, yes, even the ones involved in intimacy, function smoothly. Brazil nuts, just one or two, give you a powerful dose of selenium, which boosts sperm quality and hormone balance. And pistachios, well, they've been linked in studies to improved erectile function after just 3 weeks of daily use. Here's the twist. These benefits don't just come from having a few nuts once in a while. The key is consistent small portions. Think of them as medicine in natural form. One of my patients started replacing his mid-afternoon cookie with a small handful of mixed nuts. 6 weeks later, not only was his energy more stable, but his wife pulled me aside during his appointment and said, "Doc, whatever you told him to do, keep it up." The right nuts in the right amount can do more for your erections and energy than most overpriced supplements. But there's a timing trick that makes their effect even stronger, and that's where we're headed next. Now, eating the right nuts is one thing, but here's what most men over 60 don't realize. When you eat them, can make or break their benefits for erections, prostate health, and all-day stamina. You see, our metabolism isn't static. In your 20s, you could eat a heavy dinner late at night and still wake up feeling fine. But after 60, your body processes nutrients more slowly, and your hormone rhythm, your testosterone clock, becomes more sensitive to what you feed it and when. The best time for nuts? Mid-morning or mid-afternoon. That's when your blood sugar naturally dips, your energy fades, and your brain craves a pick-me-up. If you give it processed carbs, like cookies, biscuits, or sugary tea, you'll spike your blood sugar, then crash. But if you feed it a small handful of nuts, you give your body slow-burning fuel, healthy fats for hormone production, and a steady release of nitric oxide-boosting compounds that improve penile blood flow. I had one patient, Peter, 67, who struggled with afternoon fatigue and softer erections. We didn't change his entire diet, just swapped his late afternoon biscuit for a mix of pistachios and walnuts. Within a month, he told me, "Doc, I didn't think something so small could make such a difference. Even my mornings feel younger." It's not magic, it's biology, timed biology. You're giving your body the raw materials for testosterone, circulation, and stamina exactly when it needs them most. But before you run to the kitchen, there's one warning. Not all nuts are created equal. In fact, some popular varieties can secretly sabotage your hormones, and I don't want you falling into that trap. I've seen this mistake far too often. A man decides to eat more nuts for health, but unknowingly chooses the wrong kind. The result? Hormones that decline even faster, stubborn belly fat, and yes, weaker erections. See, not all nuts are equal when it comes to men's health after 60. Some are loaded with the exact compounds your body needs to produce testosterone, maintain healthy prostate tissue, and keep blood flowing freely to the penis. Others, they're either nutritionally empty or, worse, packed with oils and additives that block testosterone production and trigger inflammation. Let's break it down. The winners: pistachios, walnuts, almonds, and Brazil nuts. These are rich in arginine, omega-3s, zinc, and selenium, all critical for penile blood flow, erection strength, and sperm health. The losers: mass-produced roasted nuts coated in vegetable oils, overly salted peanuts, and sugary nut mixes. These can cause chronic inflammation, slow your circulation, and even reduce the Leydig cells in your testes that make testosterone. One of my longtime patients, Hassan, 72, was eating peanuts every evening, thinking he was doing something good. But the brand he chose was roasted in cheap seed oil. His blood work showed rising inflammation markers and a gradual testosterone drop. When we switched him to raw mixed nuts, heavy on walnuts and Brazil nuts, his morning erections started coming back within weeks. So here's the rule: eat your nuts raw or dry roasted, unsalted, and preferably organic. It's a small detail, but it's the kind of detail that can mean the difference between decline and renewal. Now, you might be wondering, how much is enough? Because yes, too much of even the good stuff can work against you. Let's get that part right. When it comes to using nuts as a natural booster for erections, prostate health, and overall vitality, more isn't always better. This is where a lot of men get it wrong. The magic number for most men over 60, about a small handful, roughly 30 to 40 grams, once a day. That's it. Why? Because nuts are calorie dense. If you overdo it, you can put on belly fat. And excess belly fat is one of testosterone's biggest enemies. Timing matters too. I recommend eating them in the morning or early afternoon, when your metabolism is more active and your testosterone levels are naturally higher. This gives your body the nutrients it needs when it can use them best. Late night snacking on nuts, on the other hand, often just turns into stored fat. One of my patients, Saeed, 68, used to keep a jar of almonds next to his recliner. He'd eat handful after handful while watching TV at night. His cholesterol crept up, his waistline grew, and his morning energy dipped. When we shifted his nut intake to just a measured portion with breakfast, within a month his weight stabilized, his energy came back, and yes, his erections felt stronger. Here's a simple way to make it work. Keep your daily portion pre-measured in a small container. Once it's gone, you're done for the day. Pair them with a source of vitamin C, like orange slices or strawberries, to help your body absorb more of the minerals. Now, we've talked about which nuts and how much, but there's one more factor that can make or break your results: how you prepare and store them. This is where most men unknowingly sabotage themselves.